Good Tuesday afternoon, and thanks for joining us on KARE 11 News Now. I'm Lauren Lemanchek. Authorities say that the 6-year-old boy who was reported missing in Roseville today has now been found safe. Police say that search and rescue teams, dogs, and drones were all involved in the search. The Roseville police chief thanked everyone who came out to help and said this was the best possible outcome.
When you have a call like this, I mean, I'm a mom, your heart just absolutely breaks, and you do everything you can, and you call in every available resource you can to come and find this child.
Earlier today, authorities reported that the boy was missing and believed to have left his house on foot. At this time, it's not clear what caused the boy to go missing. Right now, a man accused of a deadly hit and run in Brooklyn Park 1 week ago today is making his first appearance in court. Ryan Freeman was arrested and charged with criminal vehicular homicide after investigators say he hit and killed Amaya Armstrong Walker on Highway 252 and then drove away from the scene. State troopers responded around 1:30 a.m., finding debris from a dark gray vehicle scattered across the roadway. Court documents say Armstrong Walker got out of a car during an argument. The other people in the car tried to convince her to get back inside. She was standing near the fog line when investigators say Ryan Freeman hit her and then kept driving. Amaya's longtime partner Desiree says the couple had just welcomed a baby boy 8 months ago.
And they loved each other so much. So much. And I hate that he has to grow up without her. He looks at pictures of her every day. And I hate that somebody took my son's other parent.
Freeman has admitted to driving the car at the time, but said he did not crash into anything. Also in court today, the man accused of shooting at a firefighting plane in northern Minnesota. His first appearance in court was scheduled for this morning, and we're still waiting for the court documents to be posted. Prosecutors charged Daniel Pettit with several felonies, including assault with a deadly weapon. The plane was picking up water from a lake in Portage Township when the pilot said he heard a pop in the back of the plane. Pettit, who lives on the lake, said he was crow hunting when he saw the plane flying over. He said it was possible he hit a plane and argued it was flying too low. The pilot wasn't hurt. Turning to the war with Iran now, where today Iran is accusing the U.S. of violating the ceasefire. That comes after the U.S. launched what officials called defensive strikes. The latest move could disrupt talks to end the war. Meanwhile, President Trump is undergoing a third medical checkup in the last 13 months. NBC's Chris Pallone reports.
A trip to Walter Reed Medical Center in Washington for President Trump today. Mr. Trump turns 80 next month and is often seen with bruises on the back of his right hand. The president also sometimes appears to be drowsy in meetings. But in a February interview with NBC's Tom Yamas, Mr. Trump insisted he's in excellent health.
I feel great. I mean, physically and mentally, I feel like I did 50 years ago.
The checkup a day after the president honored the nation's war dead, including the 13 service members who have died during the Iran war.
These incredible men and women gave their lives to ensure that the world's #1 state sponsor of terror will never have a nuclear weapon.
Even as the U.S. conducted new defensive strikes in southern Iran overnight, talks to end the war continue. President Trump posting that negotiations are proceeding nicely and that the end result will be a great deal for all or no deal at all. A senior administration official says the president's plan calls for the immediate reopening of the Strait of Hormuz and the start of a 60-day clock for talks on Iran's nuclear program and its enriched uranium, buried by last summer's U.S. strikes. Iran pushing to control traffic through the strait indefinitely.
The straits need to be open, unimpeded, without tolls, and obviously that needs to happen immediately.
But in a new post this morning, Iran warns it will respond decisively to any violation of the ceasefire and claims it shot down a U.S. drone. Lawmakers from both parties eager for a deal, even if it's short term.
The farmers here in Kentucky can't afford the fertilizer to put on their fields, so heck yes, I would support it.
A potential complication? President Trump says any deal to end the war should require more Middle Eastern countries to join the Abraham Accords, an agreement he brokered which attempts to normalize relations with Israel. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Today, Chisago County union workers are back at the picket line after 18 and a half hours of contract negotiations broke down over the weekend. Teamsters Local 320 has been on strike for 26 days now. The union represents 170 workers in Chisago County, including health and government center workers. Take a look at this video from their picket earlier this month. The biggest sticking points right now are rising health care costs. In a post on their Facebook page, they accuse county leaders, specifically county commissioners, of failing to participate directly in negotiations.
We've never been in this position before with Chisago County. At the end of the day, we need to just sit down and talk, not with their attorney. We need to talk with the county board. We need to have those conversations with the county board, because I truly believe, because we've had this relationship with this county for a long time, when we sit down and have conversations with the county board members, the deals get done.
We did hear back from Chisago County a couple hours ago. They say right now there are no more mediations scheduled, but says, quote, the county continues to believe continued dialogue is the best path forward and remains hopeful that process can continue in future sessions. Meantime, the union is meeting at 5 tonight for a special meeting where they'll vote on approving $200 weekly strike benefits for workers who have walked off the job. Yesterday, we honored our nation's fallen heroes, including Master Sergeant Nicole Amer from White Bear Lake. Nearly 3 months after a drone strike killed her and 5 other American soldiers in Kuwait, her husband Joey spent his first Memorial Day without his wife. Now the 39-year-old's legacy is living on through a family and community that cherishes her memory. Heidi Wigdahl has their story.
There's literally stories here everywhere.
Joey Amer is surrounded by stories of his wife, Nikki.
I've got a story for everything here.
Like the words of comfort she provided to a friend.
Dear magical being, you are loved. You are worth loving. You are enough. You are strong. You are capable. You are amazing and wonderful and so beautiful. I love you the mostest. And after Nikki passed, she gifted it back to us.
It's an example of how Nikki loved completely.
My wife is both your best friend and your mother at the same time. She was always trying to decide whether to talk you out of something or whether she should pack a bag and join you.
Joey met Nikki in the Army at Fort Eustis in Virginia.
A week or two before I actually met her, she was sitting on the back of my truck. I couldn't believe the brass that this girl had. Doesn't know me, doesn't know whose truck that is. Like, she's just sitting back there enjoying her life. And by the time I got to the truck, she was gone.
When they did meet, they talked all night, and what followed was a life built together. Joey met Owen when he was 4, then came Adeline.
110% of her was those kids. And then we had our own relationship, right? Married for 10 years this last December. Together for almost 15. Somebody that you could always be proud of and still talk to. It's my wife. So this is her wedding ring. And this is her engagement ring. I gave her my wedding ring, so she's buried with that.
On March 1st, Master Sergeant Nicole Amer was one of 6 Army Reserve soldiers killed in an Iranian drone strike in Kuwait.
She knew the difference between wearing the uniform and standing for the person next to her. She lived and breathed the military. She lived and breathed for the soldiers around her. That's what she fought for.
What she fought for, and what Joey hopes others remember.
So many people say, thank you for your service on Memorial Day. We spent years correcting people because it's not for the people that made it home, it's for the people that didn't. It's a day of remembrance. And I've done nothing but remember. And it'll be nice for the world to stop again. Remember what she did. Remember who she did it for.
Nikki nurtured others. Now Joey is nurturing a space where anyone can go to grow and heal. Nikki loved to garden.
It was kind of her place of zen, her place of peace.
The nonprofit Operation Nikki's Embrace will build a greenhouse in Nikki's memory, taking the love she gave so freely and growing it.
It's a great way to honor her. It's a great way to spend the rest of my life.
Well, Joey says they're working with the city of White Bear Lake to find a possible location for that greenhouse. They also would love to hold gardening classes. If you'd like to support their plans, you can find more information at gardenasone.org. A new ruling from the Supreme Court is allowing Vermont to sue Meta for social media addiction. The state's attorney general is suing Instagram, saying it violated state law intended to curb the addiction. Meta argued the state courts don't have jurisdiction, but the Supreme Court is allowing the case to move forward. That could impact other cases brought on by other states. Could you be sitting on $50,000? The Minnesota Lottery says 2 big tickets from this year's New Year's raffle are still unclaimed. The $50,000 winners bought their tickets at a Holiday in Burnsville and a Quick Trip in Andover. Winners have 1 year to claim the prize. You can double-check your numbers on the Minnesota Lottery's website. Stick with us. There's more news and weather coming up after the break.